What's good? What's good, family? How everybody doing? Tonight, I got the bros with me. I got the bros with me. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Let me.
And
What's good? You already know Trap is in good, the family. How everybody doing? Tonight, I got the bros with me. So how everybody feeling, brothers? How y'all doing, man?
good,
Yeah, we good, man. It's weird without you being in New York, bro. You got to pull back up.
I feel like I'm supposed to be in New York, bro.
It's a fact.
I feel like I'm supposed to be in New York. Like I feel like, my life ain't the same since I ain't in New York, bro. I feel like I feel like so much happened while I was out there, man, with y'all, man. It's weird without you being in New York, bro. All right. I feel like so much happened while I was out there. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
All right, yeah. So listen, y'all, man. So tonight is gonna be a special night. I got my brothers in the building. If y'all don't know, Rashad and Troy from Earn Your Leisure, right? So we got them in a trap. You already know, so let's welcome them. You know what I'm saying? Let's give them a great welcome. Let's show them some trap of love for sure. You know what I'm saying? I got my trappers in the building. What's good, trappers? You already know. Once I throw the shades on, y'all know what we doing. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to get a shout out to my brothers for sure, for just showing me so much love this past weekend. In New York, man, I feel like New York is another home. Matter of fact, I know New York is another home because my brother's there. You know what I'm saying? So that's always amazing. First things first, you already know trapper attire is required.
Yo, we got the memo.
We got the memo. My brothers came strapped. They got their trapper attire on. What better love? What better, show support for that? So I definitely want to tell them thank you for that, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Fellas, tell my trapper something. I know we may have some earners in here. Let's give us a word, man. Just give us a word.
Yeah, first and foremost, thank you for having us, man. It's a pleasure. We just dropped episode 110 with you on it. So make sure y'all check that out. That's another classic. You know how we do it when every time we link up. And yeah, man, looking forward to just spreading some information with the people. It's it's different from for us being on this side of the table. We usually on your side of the table. But we love what you got going on, and just honored to be here, bro.
Yeah, the first time you came to New York, it was Leon Howard. Then you left, and I was Wall Street Trapper. You came back to New York, and now you Big Trap, man.
Big Trap, you hear me?
Now every time you come to New York, man,
Big Trap, Big Trap.
And you got the double cup too? Oh, you ain't playing. You ain't playing.
Big Trap. The people know. Put it in a cup. You heard me? Whip it up a little bit. Big Trap in the building. The people know what it is, man.
Put the stove down.
You feel me? You hear me? First and foremost, man, let's say this, man. You already know I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I a fiduciary. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only. Know that with all investing comes risk, and you must be able to properly mitigate your risk. If you can't properly mitigate the risk, you must do what, family? Seek out financial advice. Again, I am not one, but I know one by the name of Rashad, one part of Earn Your Leisure, who happens to be in here. He can take you to glory. I can only take you to the trap house. You dig? You dig? So first and foremost, man, I want to say something, man. Me and my brothers, man, we put something real dope together while I was out there. I came to my brothers and I was like, look, bro, like we need to, like, I want to do something, man. Like I want shift the culture in another way. I want to shift the world, shift our people in another way. So me, Rashad, and Troy had a talk, man. And we came out with something. We came out with something called the Wealth Pack, the plug, the generational wealth. It's literally a walkthrough in a blueprint on what you need, not only to build wealth for yourself, but for generation after generation, how to actually put it together. Right. So Rashad, let's talk about that before we even get into trapping. Let's just tell them a little bit about what you brung to That's like a mixtape, bro. Yeah, it's like a blueprint. You feel me? Let's talk about a little bit what you brung to that before we just start trapping. Because I wanted to, like, they should know when Trapper and Aaron Leisure come together. It's a movement, man.
It's blue
Yeah,
magic.
for sure. You know, we never did anything like this before. So you're the first person that we ever worked with on this type of capacity. And it's not a stock program. It's not an investing program. Like, you know, you got that, Ian got that. We do that on Market Mondays every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a guide as far as to hold your hand and walk you through as far as setting up a custodial account, as far as what REITs, ETFs, giving you the plays to make life insurance. Like, you know what I'm saying? I get to actually break it down and let people see what I see on my side as an advisor, like how to properly structure a life insurance policy, how to overfund it, how to set your kids up, how to guarantee your kid's gonna be a millionaire. Yeah, all that. So like
that boy is cooking.
Yeah,
that boy is cooking, man.
I told my man MG, you know, it's kind of tough to put that much in. We do both. Like we do the podcast, like you do Trappin Tuesdays. And you know, I just feel like for some people, it's like they always like people ask for mentorship or like to be a tutor or like, you know what I'm saying, something like that. So this is just for those people that just really want like the step-by-step guide on like every single thing. Cause it's one thing, like we tell people what stocks to buy all day, but this is a little bit more in depth. It's like a college course. It's like a college course on, like I said, it's bigger than just investing. It's really generational wealth, like everything from life insurance to REITs to family trust, all that stuff. So yeah, man, thank you for letting us be a part of that, man. That was dope for us.
I feel like I'm gonna just be real. Y'all starved me out there too, bro. Y'all had me locked in the basement.
Yo, tell them about it's the grind, man. It's the grind.
I was locked in the basement for 3 days, bro. Just recording. Yo, I felt like I was held for ransom, family.
Hey, Trav, what I told you, man. I said like people hear the name Earn Your Leisure, but they don't really know like the substance behind it, man. The amount of work that goes into it, the work ethic, the tireless nights. Like we know that the product that has to come out because the people are relying on it, and we take that very seriously, man. So thank you for trapping in with us, locking in with us. We sent you home fed, man. Don't do that to us.
Yeah, you did. I ain't gonna lie, man. Shout out to the queen, man. She made sure I had a full belly before I left, man. So, man, listen, man, let's tap in right now, man. We had some beautiful things going on. Shout out to my guy, T. Frederick, for the super chat. Definitely appreciate that, family. You already know. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about some things today, man. So today, right, you know, the glasses come off right now, you know what I'm saying, till some epic come up, and then, you know, I pull them back out. The glasses come out, you know, when something epic come out. The Pyrex disc come out when something epic come out. You feel me? So let's talk about something, man. So today, man, let's talk about some things that happened in the market today. So the Dow Jones had a historic day today, man.
First time ever, man. 30 bands, man. Almost touched 31, man. That's historic, man. So 1.54% today on the Dow. The S&P jumped 1.62% today. The NASDAQ jumped 1.31%. But here's something that's gangster that people don't know about, right? People be slipping on the Russell 2000, right? Small caps. It had its greatest month ever since 2018. So it really been in a bear market since 2018, right? And so this month of November, it had its greatest month ever. And I think I think there's three things that's leading this push right now. One is we have now 3 vaccines out right now, 3 providers with vaccines. And we talked about that last week of Trappin Tuesdays. Then we have Joe Biden actually designated his treasury of the cabinet today, Janet Yellen, right? She has a great track record. In case people don't know, she was actually once labeled as one of the most powerful women in the world. Between 2014 and 2018, she actually ran the Fed, yo. So she already know it is like the prince of money. So her job right now is going to be literally to get America out the pandemic and bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. So I think between her and Powell, who's in office right now, kind of have a great understanding of what's going on. And it's crazy because while Trump was in office, you heard people saying certain things. And I've been looking at the people who've been saying things since he's been out of office. One of the things that they've been saying is we ain't got to worry about no tweets no more. Me and Rashad talk about this all the time. Trump had people under pressure, yo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Jesus. And also with that, I think the stimulus pack is going to come up because one of the things she did, she made a statement today in her briefing. She said that she's not worried about the balance sheet.
She's worried about the people. And right now we know that even though the stock market is hitting record highs, we still have 10 million people without jobs. We still have people that don't know where they're going to get Christmas gifts, don't know where they're going to get food from for Thanksgiving. So I think we doing them, like Rashad said, a tremendous disservice by not having a stimulus pack coming. But with a stimulus pack coming, that also means the stock market is going to run a little more. So Rashad, tell me what you think about that, man.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely going to help. I think that, I mean, obviously it's at an all-time high, so we're just waiting for a pullback. I think a pullback is inevitable, but I think we'll see a nice, holiday run on the market. I think once, Biden got elected and everything got certified. Well, I don't even know if it's officially certified yet, but once it looked like, it was going to be an official change of leadership, Wallstreet was pulling for Joe Biden. If anybody's familiar with that, they put way more money in Joe Biden's campaign than they did in Trump's campaign. And, they just like steady leadership. And whether you like Trump or not, I'm not really a political person. I'm not here to debate that. But one thing about him is that he just wasn't stable.
Yeah.
He might not even be mentally stable. So it's like, it's not the best way to do business. Like, I'm saying, as far as business leaders and investors, like, you don't know, he's liable to just tweet anything.
Yeah.
And, he personally like sent some company stock down on purpose by tweeting.
Facts.
Here's the crazy part, because it's a double-sided coin, right? So like him tweeting so much helps a company like Twitter, right? So I was watching the report today. It was like, Fox News is like scrambling, right? Because he has them as the highest rated news network because of all of the information and, the, what do you call it, alternative facts that he puts out?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So their numbers get running up. And now that they about to lose that cash coin for their company, it's like, well, what we got now? So like there's two sides to that. So people got to be paying attention to that too.
Yeah, so he got a lot of power, man. I want y'all to know something too about Rashad, man. This dude is so pessimistic, yo. I'm telling y'all, the market go up 2 days in a row. He was sent out a text that said, "Yo, the market is about to fall."
You heard him, right?
Something ain't right. The market's about to fall. Like, bro, we've been in the downtrend for 6 weeks or something. Rashad get 2 days and say the market is about to fall, y'all. This ain't right.
I remember calling you in March, like, yo, Trap, this thing about to fall to 12. You were like, yo, bro, this don't look good. And now to see it hit 30,000, and I think we said this. We said this the other day. It was like, yo, the economy and the market are two different things. That's something I had to learn early on. Like, the market don't have a conscience, right? So you can see the market rise, and you can have 10 million people without jobs, right? And 10 million more about to lose it on December 31st. They're going to lose their unemployment benefits. So take that into account. But we also said on Market Mondays was like, yo, November, like the first, I think on November 2nd, whatever the first Monday was, we were like, yo, based on studies, November is usually is usually the best month to invest, right? The market goes up by like 1.5 to 1.7%. And so to see what's happening, it's like, oh, damn, man, all you got to do is just do the research and follow the patterns, man. Just follow the patterns.
So let's talk about something else that happened today, man. Something real dope happened today, man. Elon Musk becomes the second wealthiest man in the world today. With an estimated wealth of $126 billion, bro. Mind you this, he did 100 million since January to now. Don't let that, he did 100 billion from January to now. Don't let that go over your head, yo. 100 billion between January to now. He did 3 billion a day. He did 17. That means from January to now, he's made $17 million a day.
It's a good day. That's a good
ride around. I'm getting it.
Got good calendar. It's a good calendar.
January to now, he has made $17 million a day, yo. Tesla is now worth $500 billion, making him worth more than Toyota, GM, and Chrysler put together. That's a big old trap house. Shout out. Where the red cups at, yo? That's one red cup for Elon for just trapping, y'all. One red cup. Y'all, see, listen, y'all try to earn something else on Trappin Tuesday, family. We bring out the red cups here. Can I get the red cups, man, for the trap? Because Elon is trapping out the bando. You feel me? He got the bando jump. Matter of fact, let's hold a Pyrex to the light, yo. Let's hold it to the light. That shit got to come up with the way he did that. 17 million a day. I don't know nobody did that. Let me see. Yeah, that shit gonna rock.
Yo.
That shit gonna come to the top. You heard me? So tell us, man, like what we think about that, man.
I mean,
What we think about that, man?
it's crazy because when you say 500 billion, it's like, yo, damn, that's a hell of a lot, right? It's better than all those automotive companies you said combined. But when you think about it, they still got room to run.
Got room to run.
They got so much room to run. When you think about $1 trillion companies, like I could see them sitting right next to the Apples and the Microsofts of the world. Like they have that type of innovation and type of, brain power behind them. The CEO is incredible. So it's like, there's still room to run, man.
That's a lot. I like that. So also, man, I have something like, I want to talk about something that people kind of like don't know about, right? So it's this thing called seasonalities, right? Seasonality, market seasonality. Like, so a lot of people never heard of that. But one of the reasons I want to talk about this is because we'll be seeing what I like to see, and I like to pay attention to things from a different perspective. I see the market moving, right? And I'm not saying that, I'm looking at that growth stocks have now value stocks are now outperforming growth stocks right now. I've been looking at that for the last couple of months, right? The last 2 months, value stocks have been like killing growth stocks 100%, but it's cool because what we need to know is that just like the sun goes up and the sun comes down every day, there's a certain thing called market seasonality, right? And what that means is every year we already know that certain things will happen in the market. There's always going to be different sectors that are going to perform better than other sectors, right? And all of this simply saying that it's an analyst looking at one sector saying, okay, this is the season for this. Okay, this is the season for that. Now, what happens in market seasonality is this. Businesses start to understand certain products can come out, right? So we understand during this market cycle or during this season, right, we can put our winter coats, right? During this season, we can hire more people. During this season, we may let some people go, right? So that's really market seasonality. And businesses look at certain seasons in the market and understand now they can make certain plays. Like we can go heavy on marketing this, we can go small on marketing that. This kind of makes sense to y'all. Y'all kind of understand what we saying right here, family? Yeah, for sure. They see that. Yeah, so I want you to understand about market seasonality, right? Now, what I do want you to look at now when you're talking about market seasonality, I'm going to put you on some, give you some free game. You can look at something called an equity clock, right? And it gives you free research and free data so you can see what industries and what sectors in the market are moving during this season. Take that, Jim, do what you want to do with it. You heard me? Put it in your pipe, but don't smoke it. You heard me? You feel me? Because it's a little too raw. So go to this thing. It's called equity clock, family. Y'all know I like to give y'all a real game, you know what I'm saying? Real time talk, man. So you can go to this thing called equity clock. And on that clock, it'll have a complete breakdown of the seasons that's past, what's coming up in the cycle that we in right now. And it'll show you what industries are literally moving and what they take. And all they're doing is taking data from everything that has happened, moved last year's, created like, when summer, winter, spring, fall, autumn, you got to get shorts, April, May, February, March, April, you might got to bring out your little, whatever, December, January, you got to bring out something else. Those are seasons. Those same seasons exist inside of the market. And that's called market seasonality. And we can use that to get an idea because this is what analysts do. These are one of the things that analysts use to have an idea of where the market is heading and then how to get into what's called sector rotation, right? Because inside of these seasons, now you have different sectors that are going to perform. So now what happens with this sector rotation is this. So because analysts and because big institutions know that, okay, this market, this season is going on right now, what we'll tend to do now is take profits from one season, take profits from one industry, and now reallocate those profits in another industry, right? That now their season may be coming up. Now, I'm not saying you got to do that because we're going to be long-term, but what we can do is when we see them pulling profits, it can be a way for us to say, this is where I unload the clip at. Right? Because if they pull in profits out, what do we know is going to happen? If they pull profits out, we know what? Stock price is going to fall. If I pull $1 million, Troy pull $1 million, and Rashad pull $1 million, and listen, none of us don't got $1 million, yo. Let me put that out there. These being examples. So we all pull 1 million shares out of a business, what we know going to happen, right? We know the stock price is going to go down. So we as long-term investors, what we do is when we see the stock price, when we see the stock price go down, we don't run with them. We get more of that because in that next season or in that rotation, they may jump back in. And when they jump in, we go up because I put a post up the other day that says that we personally have the advantage over big investors. The reason why we have big advantages over them is because we don't have to move in and out of a position, right? We not trading, we long-term investing, right? So we can just sit there and chill. And then once they move and the fundamentals stay the same, we can now get the business at a discounted price. So I always want us to know that. And before I let my guys say something, I want to say this, yo. We looked at the market running right now, right? We see the market running right now in a certain way. The only way you get the actual gains from that market, the only way you get that, the only way you reap the benefits, the only way you get the harvest from that, the only way you be able to break that brick down and get it is because you're in the market. When you're trying to beat the market and time the market, is something I said in the wealth pack. Time in the market is better than timing the market, right? So if you're trying to time the market, you miss out on days where the stock hit, where the Dow goes 30,000. If you got Caterpillar or John Deere or something, you in that, you gonna win. You know what I'm saying? So stop trying to time the market and let's build wealth the way it's supposed to be. Let me give a shout out, man. Team Motor Productions, man. They hit me with a $99 super chat. Bought the course yesterday and want to donate another course to someone that may need what you got to do. So Trapper, salute. That's a fact, man. I appreciate that. So we're going to live up there and donate that course to somebody for the family, man. I'm going to hold my word to that. Somebody going to get a free course, man. That's a fact. So what's good, fellas? Let me hear something.
Yeah, Trap. Well, I wanted to come on here and, give the people some information, some game. I know you always talk about me being a financial advisor, fiduciary, and all of that. So, I feel like we talk about stocks a lot, and but we can never forget about just the basic fundamentals. It's like basketball. Like, you can't just start shooting threes and trying to dunk before you can hit a foul shot and learn how to dribble. So, if you would allow me, I'll just go over a quick, 2-minute breakdown. Like, so I'm gonna break. I haven't even shown this. I only showed this on EY University, but this is my sheet that I show my clients. Like when they come in, I kind of my one pager. So I try to. My philosophy is I try to break money down into three levels. Like there's 3 levels of money. So the first level is money that's taxed every year or taxed whenever you sell the investment. So it has like salary, income. Everybody understands that. Like you pay income taxes on your salary, bonuses, things of that nature. But then moving on to investments, you got your CDs, certificates of deposits, which aren't really popular right now because interest rates are so low. So CDs was real popular like in the 80s. Like it's crazy to believe now, but at one point CDs interest rates was like 15%, like 19%. Like, it was crazy. Yeah. So, but now CDs is like, less than 1%. So nobody's really putting money in CDs. So now you got stocks, index funds, mutual funds, things of that nature. So stock options, restricted stocks, if you have a company that gives you stock. So these are all in the taxed every year category. Obviously stocks aren't taxed every year, but they're taxed whenever you sell it. So if you sell it within a year, short-term capital gains tax. If you sell it outside the year, then it's long-term capital gains tax. And if you have a mutual fund, then you get a 1099 every year because, stocks are being sold within that portfolio. But all of that's in the taxed every year category. So the next level is the tax deferred, postponed. So the postpone is like what most people are invested in is a retirement account. So you got your 401k, your 403b, your IRA, your 457 plan, annuities, things of that nature. And that's tax deferred because you're really postponing the tax. You're not avoiding the taxes, but you're just kicking the can down the road. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the good thing with the 401k is that the money that you put in, it lowers your taxable income, but it's fully taxable when you take the money out. So like if you have $1 million in your 401k or your IRA and you live in New York, California, which has high state income tax, you take out that whole $1 million when you retire, you probably net like 600,000, like 400,000, maybe even more. Like almost half of the money will go to the IRS because you pay state and federal tax on the full amount. So then the last level is the never taxed again. So that's your Roth IRA, Roth 401k, life insurance. We kind of talked about that in the wealth pack, and then muni bonds. That's what, what the big money actually goes towards is muni bonds. That's the whole point, is like really to have enough money where now your investments is really boring at that point in time. Like really rich people, and they're not really gambling with money like that. They more conservative because, muni bonds are triple tax free depending on the state that you invest in, and you can get, tax-free income. So it's like, it's not really as sexy as 4%, let's say 4% for a muni bond. So it's like, all right, if you invest even $100,000, which that's a decent amount of money, you get 4% a year, $4,000. That's not really life changing. But if you got $1 million, now you get 40,000. That's not bad. You got 10 million, you get $400,000 every year, tax free. You can just sit in bed and play PlayStation. So that's like Mitt Romney. Remember when Mitt Romney ran for president against Obama, and they were saying like his tax rate was so low, it was lower than like somebody making like $50,000 a year, even though he's worth like a couple $100 million, because all of his income was coming from investment. So that's the ultimate goal. Like your income, the tax law isn't made for employees. It's made for entrepreneurs and investors.
Valuable lesson.
That's a fact. So, so I say all that to say, how I look at it is that you want to have at least one investment in each category. You want to have at least one stock. You want to have at least, your 401k. You want to have, Roth IRA or life insurance policy, things of that nature. Because what happens is that I'm a big proponent of balance and diversification. And, I don't think you should ever put all your eggs in one basket. That's just common sense. But a lot of times, especially like for most common people, they usually have, if they have any investment, it's in one bucket. And that one bucket is the 401k bucket, because that's the easiest thing. When you sign up for a job, when you get a job, they sign you up for it. It's like everybody's heard of it. It's easy. It comes out of your paycheck. But the problem with having that as your only investment is that if you got to take money, that's the only place that you got to pull from. And now you got to borrow money, or you can cash it out, but then you pay a 10% penalty. And so you should always have different investments for different reasons. I look like investments is like a toolbox. Like, what I'm saying? Like you can't use a wrench to hammer in a nail. Like you got to have a hammer for that. Like,
what I'm saying? Did that a couple times though, bro.
We seen you up there.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like the investments should be a toolbox. So if you're trying to send your kid to college, you should have an investment tailor-made for that, whether it's a 529 plan, things of that nature. If you're trying to pass generational wealth, there's tools for that, with life insurance, things of that nature. Whether you got to protect your income, disability insurance, there's a tool for that. If you're trying to grow your own wealth, there's a tool for that. I feel like too many times it's just one thing. Like it's just invest in stock options or invest in stock. And it's like, to be honest with you, like, most of our audience is working class people. So, you know what I'm saying? We can't, it's like when we get to a certain level, the conversation, it sounds good, but it's like the average person is not saving $50,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? The average person, even if you, I'm gonna be real with you. Like the average person, even if you get 100% rate of return on your money in 1 year, that's not going to change it. Because the average person can't afford to invest more than a couple $1,000s. So if you invest $2,000 and you get 100%, all right, you made $2,000. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's the long-term play. It's the discipline. It's the diversification. It's understanding and the delayed gratification, things of that nature. We're not here to sell you a dream. We're here to educate you so that, it's like, you build the pyramid one brick at a time. Yeah. And I feel like, it's too many people online that's just like, there's no real quick way to anything. And whenever my mom used to always say, like, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be disciplined. That's something that I really appreciate about you, is that, you're a fundamental investor. You talk about breaking down companies, looking at companies, understanding why you're investing. If your investment strategy is what somebody else told you, you're in trouble.
Big trouble.
That's not an investment strategy, because it's like, at some point, what if that person decides to stop telling you stuff? What are you going to do?
Yeah. And that's why we stretch the teaching it so much. And that's just kind of relationship that we all kind of have bonded with. It was like, as soon as I learn something, I got to tell y'all. You know what I mean? As soon as you learn something, you're going, I got to shoot him a text. You know what I'm saying? Because each one teaches one. But what you're missing is that, we're doing the homework. And I think people kind of overlook that. Like, we are doing our own homework to help us. But as soon as we learn something, our natural obligation, especially for me in education, is like, I gotta go teach. And so it's nothing for me to be like, hit me up, let me show you how to do this, right? Because there's nothing like when you discover it for yourself. Like some certain mistakes somebody can tell you, but until you actually experience them and make some of them your own, you won't really understand it. You know what I mean? So like everybody, I always stress that. We stress that too. It's like, do your homework. There will be mistakes. We can't tell you everything because we haven't experienced everything. As we learn, we teach. And we're going to continue to do that, but everybody's going to have to be on their own journey as well.
That's a fact, man.
I think that was dope what you said about that, because I remember me and you had the conversation, which was one of the reasons why we came up with the Wealth Pack. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, like
The
people still
family
not
part.
getting, you know what I'm saying? Like people still not getting it, bro.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, let's dig in. You know what I'm saying? Like so many people, and I don't have nothing wrong. Like options is cool, trading is cool, but I think what happens is gets misplaced with how to build wealth. You know what I'm saying? Like it
And
can
I'm glad you said that, because I feel like, not to cut you off, but I feel like,
be a moment, bro.
That's his line. That's his line. That's his line. You know what's coming after that.
not to cut you off, but let me cut.
Go ahead, King. Yeah,
It's like when somebody say no disrespect, and they about to disrespect you crazy. Anytime you had no disrespect,
go.
it's going to be a versus battle.
Damn. Damn.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Out to 2K in the super chat. I mean, 2K in the chat, man. I appreciate that, man. The dude say, William, he said, I'm the plumber you met Saturday at Dykeman. Thank you for everything you guys do. Working class in the building for sure. We love the working class, man. Like, you'll never hear us get in here saying like nothing against that, because we all know what that's about at one way or another. And I think that's one of the things, like you said, we talked about, was just simply saying that, people get caught up in the hype of doing all these other things, and they really forget. They don't really understand what it takes to build wealth, because just the whole idea of building wealth is let's just be real, it's new for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's new for most of the people who, trapping into EYL, who tapping into Wall Street Trapper. It's new to everybody, right? So now what happens is, because they don't really understand the fundamentals of what it takes to build wealth, they all over the place. Or they say, do this, I'm over here. Shout out to Basil Fool, man, my guy Steve, for the $30 super chat. So people be all over when it comes to building wealth, and they don't know what to do. So I think that was important for us to come up, especially I like the 1-2. I keep telling you, like, bro, we did the Benny Siegel Scarface back and forth, and then
Mac and Brad.
Brad, you know what I'm saying? That was official, man. So
that's a fact. And it's like, I feel like people, like, even a concept like something that's life insurance, right? And it's like, for the average person, they like, all right, buy life insurance, don't buy life insurance, buy term, buy whole life. But honestly, like, that's not even like, me being an advisor, like, I was on a call today, a conference call, like a Zoom call, and it was about charitable remainder trust. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how to set a trust up. And it was like, these people have different conversations. These, like, their problem is they need to give away $100,000 before the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? It's like they got to find a way to give away $1 million. Things of that nature. Like, you know what I'm saying? We arguing about term insurance and whole life insurance. They setting up trust to give away $100,000, $500,000 to their favorite charity to lower their taxable income, because they don't want to pay money to the IRS. So it's like, it's so many different layers. And it's like, even with us, like, we there's so much stuff that we haven't talked about yet. Like I said, like, even like with life insurance, like a viatical settlement. Like, people have never even heard of what a viatical settlement is. Like, you can actually buy a life insurance policy and sell it down the line. Like, there's companies that actually buy life insurance policies from people, like terminally ill people. If you have a $500,000 life insurance policy, like, you can sell it to a company for $100,000. And it's like, there's companies that's literally profiting off of that. And that's like a whole way to finesse that situation. And it's like, even like key man insurance, like if you own a small business, you can buy a life insurance policy on your employee.
Yep.
And if they pass away, now you get compensated, because it's going to take you time to replace them.
I think we did that a little bit in EYL University.
EYL University, yeah. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, there's so many different layers. And I feel like, people kind of only just see the front layer, and they argue, like Derek Falcon says, shout out to Derek Falcon, people tend to major in minor things. And, it's always a bigger picture. It's a bigger play. So, our job is just to help them see that, but not, like you said, not just get caught up in just one area of this, just investing, this is stocks, whatever. Like, I had an hour-long conversation about cryptocurrency yesterday on Instagram. That was fire. But it's
having flashbacks.
it's not an East Coast, West Coast thing. Like, there's a lot of different ways to make money, and there's a lot of different ways for your family to benefit and to grow wealth. So the key is to learn as much as you possibly can from, the people that are knowledgeable in the field, and then execute it.
Yeah. And the people who've made some mistakes in the field too, right? Because we made no secret about that. Like, we made plenty of mistakes with the intent of you not making those same ones, right? So we're going to give you as much of our faults as possible so that you don't have as many. So the road is a little bit smoother for you. And that should be the goal for anybody, right? Like if you made mistakes and you've had some trials and tribulations in the area of investment, you should be sharing that with the next generation so that they can get ahead, right? Sometimes we hold everything so close and it's like, why are we hoarding that? Like, what's the point of it? We can get the next generation ahead. But a lot of times, we think about ourselves so much. I remember having conversations about life insurance, right? When I was 26, you were like, yo, you got to get it. And I was like, all right, I'll get it because you're saying it. Not realizing how important it is, and then trying to feed that to like my other coworkers, and it was like, I don't want to talk about that. I ain't thinking about dying. You know what I mean? We just have that selfish mentality. But I think what we doing here, especially this movement, is with Trap and us and Ian and a lot of people. Shout out to all my entrepreneurs in Atlanta, our boys out there. Is like, yo, we're making it cool to be talking about these things, and I think that's the beautiful thing about it. We're making it dope. Like we becoming the cool guys because we're talking about how to make money and how to invest, and I think that's such a generational shift. And this movement is so beautiful. So it's just going to keep growing.
Nah, that's a fact. Like for sure. Y'all can hear me good, right?
Yeah.
The mic, yo. I'm like, the computer was tripped. Like it was draining battery. I'm like, yo, I had to pull off a 1-2 right quick. I read alert. Yeah. It wasn't rocking up. Yeah. But I like the fact that too, because one of the things I enjoy is being able to wear my hoodie and talk about stocks, you know what I'm saying? And be able to have that conversation. Like that's literally a normal conversation for us now, right? So what I want to do right quick, man, every Trappin Tuesday, I like to let my trappers ask me some questions. So I definitely want to ask them a question. First question, it's for you, Rashad.
Uh-oh.
Somebody said, one of the trappers said, how can I get a response from Rashad? I need his fiduciary expertise. I've emailed and DM'd him at EYL. Her at name is Too Much Cocoa. Rashad, what's happening over there? Every week I come on here and tell people if they looking for financial or fiduciary leadership or guidance, they need to seek you. I'm throwing you the alley-oop, bro, and you not even answering my people.
Nah, my bad, man. It's a lot going on. I mean, I don't know if she sent it to the right email, whatever, but I promise you, I promise you, if she sends the email let's do it after Thanksgiving. Send the email after Thanksgiving. I'll respond.
Too Much Cocoa, right?
Huh?
Too Much Cocoa, that's the name?
Too Much Cocoa, yes.
All right, got you. I'm gonna stay on about it.
That's a fact. I got another question that says, is it okay to take profit from a long-term position to then re-enter at a lower cost? So let me say this, in a situation like that, if it's a long-term position, I would personally just let it run. Now, if you're going to take profits, I wouldn't take profits from that long-term position to re-enter that position. If you're going to take profits from that long-term position, I think you should use those profits to start you another position, right? So what I think you should do is, again,
Uh-oh.
fiduciary or financial advisor. Everything that I say is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Know that with all investing comes risk, and you must be able to properly mitigate the risk. If you aren't able to properly mitigate the risk, you should seek out a financial advisor or fiduciary, one who has obligated themselves to doing what's best for you. Now, I knew one by the name of Rashad, one part of the Earn Your Leisure family, who happens to be on the show today. He can take you to glory. I can only take you to the trap house.
But let me say this though. Let me say this because Trapper, he's a funny guy, man, and he's very humble and he's very modest. But I've been in the financial services industry for over 12 years now. Time flies, and I've been around everything, all kinds of all of these different groups, and I go to these different conferences and all of that. And he's up there with anybody that I've ever met. As far as his knowledge and as far as his way to relate a message when it comes to stocks is comparable with anybody.
Put him up there.
Yeah, he didn't have to go to college. He didn't have to get a 6'7", 63, none of that. He's just straight off the street corner, self-educated in the penitentiary, And it's a great motivational story.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not just saying that. Like I actually seen it firsthand, so I can compare him. And he's just as smart as anybody that went to any Ivy League school, or anybody that works on Wall Street, or anybody that works on any hedge fund or trade desk. And I know these people, and he's smarter than a lot of them, most of them. So just wanted to put that out there for sure.
We putting them in the EYL Hall of Fame. We send something your way, right? we said something your way, man. When it get there, I need you to wear that with pride, because like I said, like Shadi said, man, one of the most incredible minds that I've come across for sure. So he is now Big Trap, the OG.
Big Trap.
The OG.
Big Trap. That's a fact, man. I appreciate that, man. You know, people don't know, but we don't never stop learning, man. That's a thing. That's a great thing I say about us. And I tell people about having these conversations with changing their circle, man. Like our conversations, they go so far. And I can say and I'm not saying we don't have our moments when we joke and we have fun, but I can literally say like 70% of the time, yo, we talking that talk. You know what I'm saying? Making each other get better. And I think everybody has a different personality or something that they bring to the relationship. So, you know what I'm saying? I definitely appreciate y'all for that. So with taking profits from the long-term position, my thing is this too. If it's not overvalued, right? And I saw somebody, I was looking at the greed and fear index today, and it's kind of at 88. So when it's kind of in that range, we kind of want to, that mean the world getting a little greedy. Shout out to Ian, because he made me go look at it, because he posted, I had to go look at it. I had to go double check. So, you know, once the world start getting greedy, then we can step back and start saying, what do we take positions from? Not just to jump out of it, but just to be aware that something may be happening, right? So if you're going to take position, I would say let it run. But if you want to take it, I wouldn't take it out to just hold it to wait to that. If you're going to take it out, put it in another position that you've been studying, but make sure it's something that you understand fully, right? Mm-hmm. Another question I have is, Trap, how do you find institutional investors? How do you find what institutional investors are investing in a company? Okay, let me say that again. Find what institutional investors are investing in a company. That's what they asked. Okay, so here's some free game for you, right? One of the things I do is the easy way, without having to go through a lot of stuff that's going to confuse you, you can literally go to Yahoo Finance, right? And then put that company in. Like, let's say you're looking up a company. Let's say you're looking up Apple, right? So once you put that in, you'll see these hyperlinks at the top. You'll see finances, summary. You'll see profile. You'll see historical data. And then what I want you to do is go to what's called holdings. You'll see a hyperlink up there that says holdings. If you go to holdings, you press that button, it'll tell you, and it'll break it down into two sections. The first section, it'll say is major holders, right? So to show you who are the major institutional investors, or who are the big boys inside of this. The next thing you'll go to inside of that is it'll say top institutions, right? And so when you go into top institutions, it'll now break down what institutional investors are inside of that stock. That's an easy way, a quick way, without you having to look at so many different reports and all of that. That's straight. One thing I like to do, man, I like to get straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? I like to take it out the pack, put it in the thing. No cut, no chase, no fighter blend, no B12, no procaine, no none of that.
Yeah. If any of your trappers or the earners in here, you can find it in E-Trade too. So if you got an E-Trade account and you type the company name in, you'll see it. It'll say insider information, and if you click on it, it'll go. You'll see a tab that says ownership, and once you go to ownership, it'll show you the allocation for institutional investors, and it'll scroll. If you scroll down, right, it'll show you exactly how much they have allocated into the position. So that's another easy way too. I mean, like it's crazy because, like I said, sometimes you discover things for yourself, and you're like, yo, wow, this has been here the whole time. Like it's right here in plain sight. It's just that we got to do the homework and do the research.
That's a gem right there.
Good talk. That's a gem. I'm gonna answer one more question before we get into something else. One of the trappers asked me, Trapper, what is a green shoe option and what is an earnings whisper? All right. So now let me say this. Most people won't even have to worry about what this is because this is like a next level question, but I don't mind answering it because it is what it is. We for investors on every level. We can relate on every level, right? So green shoe investing is simply this, man. So, a green shoe option is simply this. So when a company does an IPO, excuse me. When a company does an IPO, they have to have what's called an underwriter, right? So what the underwriter going to do is say he's going to evaluate the business. They're going to evaluate the business, say what the business is worth, and then the business does the IPO, right? So two of your biggest underwriters are Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley, right? Two of your biggest underwriters, right? So what happens is this: the green show gives them the option once the stock goes public. They have the option of taking 15% of the stock, and they can do whatever they want to do with it. So if the stock is selling too much for whatever reason, if it's going too high for whatever reason, they can start selling to kind of bring it down. If it's going too low for whatever reason, they can use that 15% and buy into the stock to bring it up. So they can actually stabilize the stock with their 15%. That's called a green shoe option, and it just came from the green shoe manufacturing company, who was the first person to do it. I think it was in 1983 or 1890, something like that. It was a while back, before I was goddamn born. You know what I'm saying? But that's where that come from. So they got a nickname. The other one is whispers. What is an earnings whisper? What is a whisper earning? I think you put it to me like that. So that's just simply saying, so analysts who are looking at a stock, what they'll do is they'll have their own research, their own data. And what they'll do is use their research and data and come up with a calculation on what they think earnings per share will be. These are not published and these are unofficial. That's why it's called a whisper, because sometimes whispers ain't true. You know what I'm saying? Somebody come whisper in your ear, Trap, your boy got to work. If I go out there head first and he don't got to work, then it's my butt. You know what I'm saying? But if he got to work, I hit a lick. You feel me? Same thing with that. Analysts will use these, and then that's kind of how they trying to get itself. Now, mind you, these analysts use a lot of data. They use quantitative data, they use fundamentals, they use technicalities. They do a lot of research. Their job is to research companies 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, what they do, they will research this business, and they'll probably, go to somebody and say, hey, this is what we are expecting earnings to be, such and such, such and such, such and such. Now, what that does is they'll go to a company or somebody and say, yo, this is what I expect this to be. So hear this. If you are looking at a earnings whisper, if you're looking at analysts, one of the things you want to do is see what is that analyst's track record. You want to see what is his track record, and that's easy to see.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to a site like Bar Chart, or you can go to a site like Yahoo Finance. You can look up that person's name, and you can look at how good he's been in the last year, in the last 5 years, the last 5 calls he's made, whatever he's made. You can look at that. If someone has like a 95 or something rating like that, that's who that's something he a GOAT in the game. You got somebody with 80 or 70%, I'm probably way better than him anyway. You feel me? So, shameless plug. But that's what an earnings whisper is, and that is what a green shoe option is. So, Rashad, what you got on your mind, brother?
Trap. Can I add something really quickly?
Of course you can, my brother.
Yeah. So, and another thing too, when you're looking at these analysts, man, it's very important that you check out the date of their last pick, right? Because sometimes it'll be like 2019, and you're like, oh, this dude is 95%, but he ain't made a call in a year. So definitely, when you look at that, check the date on them, right? Or somebody might have something from like January 2020, right? And you're like, wait, damn. So he hasn't made he hasn't done a homework or put a call in during Corona at all. So just be careful. Make sure you watch the date on their calls too.
Let me say that before you do that, I forgot. One of my trappers asked me a question. They said, Trap, I took the money out of my 401k, and they said there is no penalty for COVID. You won't have a penalty for 3 years. That was the plan. You got to go back and check with them to make sure. But the deal was you could take up to $100,000 out of your 401k, and you won't have to pay it back until 3 years without the penalty. Am I correct, Rashad?
You're correct, but you do have to pay state and federal tax.
There you go.
So that's something to be aware of. So that's just something to be aware of. Huh?
What you got?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you just answered that question, because I was about to answer that question as far as that question is concerned. So I just want to, before I go to something else, but just be aware of that. And the bigger thing is that whenever you take money out of you got to do what you got to do. If you have to take money out of your retirement account, you got to take money out of your retirement account. But when you take money out of your retirement account, the problem is that you deplete your retirement. And this is why I said, this is why, like, going back to the 3 levels is so important, right? Because like I said, I see this all the time. People, like, then they buy a home or they got to send their kid through college and stuff like that. And it's like, they only have one bucket. And when you have no other option except for the retirement account, then that's going to be the easy thing to pull from, because that's the only thing that's there. So that's why it's important to diversify for sure. But can we talk about crypto for a little bit?
Let's go. I saw you on live last night, and I saw you had this impromptu conversation. Bro, you be having some impromptu having on your brain, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I saw you do that, and I think the last 2-3 days we kind of been having this conversation about crypto. You kind of told me this morning that you moved some things. Let's have a conversation, brother.
Yeah,
You move some things, Rose?
nah. Well, I checked. I had to check my Binance account just to make sure that everything was kosher. And I'm sending my XRP to Coinbase.
Oh yeah.
I just feel more comfortable with it.
American company.
Yeah, I feel more comfortable with an American company. But yeah.
No, it's a fact, man. We've been seeing people getting messages like, "Yo, we are not allowed to open accounts for any American citizens. If you have any money in here, please get it out before this date." So you never know, man.
Yeah, but yeah, like, people not familiar, people maybe your community. I know if anybody's an earner, they know we talked about crypto a lot, but we got Market Monday, so we talk about stocks all the time. And people don't know, like, we have a deep history with cryptocurrency. We was in cryptocurrency years ago, heavy, like spending 8 hours a day studying cryptocurrency. And,
that's the border that. We had like hour shifts. Like,
yeah, it's very addicting. It's a very addicting thing. And we made a lot of money, then we lost a lot of money. But I never sold my crypto. And I think that's a lesson too, because I wish I would have brought more Bitcoin. That's the one coin I really believe in. And XRP too. I have a lot of the coins, but I was always bullish on XRP. And I believe Bitcoin is just like the granddaddy of it all. The crazy thing about Bitcoin is that it makes up 60% of the crypto market. So just imagine, like, comparing it to stocks. Like, imagine if one stock made up 60% of the stock exchange. That would be like if Apple made up 60% of all of the money in stock market. Like, that's crazy. And there's thousands of cryptocurrency coins. So Bitcoin, I just feel like Bitcoin's dominance. That's what they hear, like the Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is just too big to fail. I feel like if Bitcoin fails at this point, the whole crypto space is going to fail. So I really believe in Bitcoin because, everything was done to kill Bitcoin, from governments across the world shutting it down to, hacks and people losing their currency. It was just all like, and it tumbled. It went from 20,000 to, I think it got as low as like 3,500. Yeah. But it's extremely resilient. And it's on its march to 20. It will hit its all-time high. It's crazy that the Dow Jones hit its all-time high and Bitcoin might hit its all-time high the same exact week. Yeah. Bitcoin is extremely, extremely resilient. But I just encourage people to know what you're investing in. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just understand, like, take some time and actually research cryptocurrency, read about it. When we was in it. We knew Satoshi Nakamoto, the dude. We knew all of that. Like, bro, I'm saying? Justin Tron. Yeah, that was Justin, my guy. He's a nut. Like, you know what I'm saying? Justin Sun. He had Tron. Yeah, the Tron. Yeah. He's a nut. Charlie Lee from Litecoin. Yeah. Like, we actually knew, we knew these guys, and we were studying and all that. The same way that people study stocks is how we were studying Bitcoin, man. We was so in that world, they call them white papers. Right. So when you read the white paper, it gives you the background on everything that the company's doing. So, like, we were spending nights just reading the white papers, because at the time it was only 1,200 coins out there. Like, that includes Bitcoin and altcoins, and now it's like over, I think, like 7,000. So, like, it's crazy. So you definitely got to know exactly what you're investing in. And like you said, man, Bitcoin is the goal. That is the standard, right? It has, don't buy right now. No, not now. Not now. It's too high to buy now. I think its market cap is like 353 billion, right? And so, like, the whole space, the market cap is 584 billion, and you got one coin that's 353 of it. So, but that's what really encouraged me about cryptocurrency a few years ago, when a friend of mine put me on. And how much is the market cap right now? 5 for Bitcoin, or the whole market? The whole market. 584 billion. Yeah, billion. So if you really look at it, like 584 billion, that's a small, like what's Tesla's
I remember you said that.
Yeah. So that's when he fully explained it to me, like,
that's not a lot.
Nah, it's not. It's like a penny. It's a drop in the bucket when you really look at it like that. Like you got like stocks whose market cap is almost like, so it's like it's upside potential as far as like reaching quadruple that is very realistic. So it's like when I that's what really sold me on crypto, when I realized that the market cap for the whole space was so small. Yeah. And it's just a numbers game. Like if you just look at it from percentage of how much money is in circulation, like it's like a fraction of 1% as far as the money that's in circulation, let alone the investments. Like it's
we was looking at that time, we was looking at like, yo, if this thing goes to 2 trillion, we're out of here. Like lose my number. Yeah. Like we're going to be extremely wealthy.
That's what we was looking at, 2 trillion. So, you know, one
Yo, it was crazy, man. We wasn't sleeping, man. I'm trying to tell you. I mean, I still remember the night when we saw some of those coins just run up, and like it'll be text messages from 3 o'clock to like 5 a.m. just buzzing back and forth. And I remember one of the things we always say to each other, like, yo, nothing good happens at 4 a.m. So we never even look at our phones. And that night, bro, it was going crazy. Dudes was making like 40, 50,000 in a night. It was like, I mean, this is different.
The crazy thing is like me, I don't have any loyalty to anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? As far as not like that, but as far as like investments is concerned, I have no loyalty to anything. Like, we need the sound effects. That's gonna be a drop. That Gucci Man thing is gonna be a drop. But I feel like if there's money in trucking, we're gonna buy a truck. Shout out to Alex, we just brought a truck. If there's money in real estate, we're gonna get a bunch of rental properties. You're gonna see us do that.
Big fact.
If there's money, what'd you say?
We're gonna buy real estate regardless.
Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact. If there's money in stocks, we're gonna buy stocks, options, futures. So crypto. I say this to say a lot of people, a lot of old school investors is like hating on crypto. Like crypto, I mean, obviously it's a lot of speculation, and I wouldn't recommend people just jumping in, putting a whole portfolio in it. But I mean, you got billionaires invested in it. Like you got billionaires invested in cryptocurrency. Yeah. The Winklevoss twins, like these dudes is smart. They went to Harvard.
PayPal.
Yeah, PayPal, Square. When I saw Ripple, that's what sold me on Ripple. When I saw Ripple had like 80 or like 90 corporate contracts, I'm like, these is corporate banks and corporate entities that's invested in Ripple. A lot of people don't like Ripple because they think it goes against everything that crypto stood for. But long story short is that when you see people with real money putting stuff into it,
time to go.
It's time to at least look at it. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But it's the same principles in stocks, right? Like if we look at where institutional investors are putting their money, we probably, that's a sign, right? So it's the same thing in crypto. If we see institutional money coming into a space, there's a reason it's coming in. You know what I mean? You know,
my bro put like $1,000 or something in his Chainlink. He said that shit, it's running for him right now.
Yeah, everybody.
Chainlink wasn't even one of them things when we was doing it.
Chainlink wasn't around. But like I said, I mean, back then it was just an unrealistic thing. It was like people think that you get a good return on options. Like we seen 30,000%. Like coins was going up 30,000%. 18. I saw one coin went up 87,000%. 87,000% in 1 year. One coin went up 140,000%. Like it was just
different.
What was that, 2017?
The end of 2017.
I had never seen anything like it in my life, man. That was just it wasn't even real. And then of course it crashed crazy. So I think that that's over with. Like those kind of situations are over with. But I think that it's still like the couple good coins. You can still, have a future.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, I love.
Blockchain, Rashad. Break down blockchain for us.
Yeah, the blockchain technology. You want to talk about blockchain? It's really, so I mean, I'll let Troy talk about it, but it's ill because around the time 2000, and this is what really sold me on blockchain. Because when I got educated on blockchain, I knew about blockchain before I knew about crypto. Because the thing about they're already using blockchain right now.
Yeah, it's just a documented record that continues on. So every time somebody adds something to it, it extends the chain, right? So it keeps a file of everything and it can't be changed. So like companies are looking at it because like, especially like the banking systems, they're like, wait, this is a way to track records that can't be hacked. So that technology has existed during the Bitcoin surge, and it's going to be here. Even if they try to do anything with the space, blockchain will still exist.
You can't, because it's like the fastest way. What's the fastest way right now, even to get $1 million from LA to London?
Ooh.
Trap, I'm asking you a question.
Okay.
You think it?
I was thinking, bro. I heard it. I'm like, from LA to London.
The fastest way to get $1 million.
What, Wyatt?
You get on an airplane and you take an airplane from LA to London. That's the fastest way. That's disturbing. In 2020, that's disturbing that's the fastest way to get $1 million. This is why cryptocurrency and blockchain technology is so important, because you can't transfer $1 million that quickly.
It's going to take 10 to 14 days, and the fees going to be crazy.
But that's going to take like a week.
Yeah,
take about a week.
The Winklevoss twins are like, yo, we transferred $2 million, and the transfer fee was $25. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not going to happen in the financial world right now.
That's because I'm starting to see Bitcoin ATMs and stuff, bro.
Yeah, that's why cryptocurrency, and that's why Ripple. So XRP is the coin of choice for corporate, and this is why these corporations and all that they're invested so heavily in XRP. Because they understand that blockchain technology it makes no sense that we can't move money quicker. Mm-hmm. We should be able to move money even getting money into your brokerage account. Like if you got a brokerage account, if you got Fidelity, TD, like it takes you like 3 days. That'd be the wait. Like, and then you're trying to buy something, you're trying to buy a stock on Monday. By the time it comes in on Wednesday, the momentum is already down. Like, so it's like, you should be able to transfer money like this right now
in this day and age.
If we can put a rover on Mars, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to transfer money within a couple of minutes from anywhere in the world.
You about to get what's the price to get into XRP at? That's coming.
Well, you gotta realize I bought XRP at 15 cents.
Yeah.
I bought XRP at 15 cents and it got all the way up to $3.
$3.48.
I think it was $3.12, something like that. $3 and something. It got all the way. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm in XRP.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving.
We had some of them coins, Trap, I'm beyond. Some of them coins we got when you talking about penny stocks. We had Tron. I had Tron when it was 0.2 of a penny, and watched that joint go up to 28 cents. I mean, so it's
a way for people to research big like crypto then, bro.
I would say coin market cap that's where you would start. So like that would be like Yahoo Finance for the space. So coin market cap. I use Crypto Pro. That's another app you can use. And so like it pretty much it's going to remind you of anything you use to research stocks. And so you hit the company, and like I said, the first thing I always do, I look at its growth, I look at its chart, and then I go to the white paper. What are they doing? What's this company about? What are they trying to solve? What's the technology behind it? Is it something that can work? And then the same type of research, see the market cap, see its growth, see how many coins. That we started doing that too, calculating how many coins. Well, what's their potential growth if they have this many coins? What can they potentially grow to? So it's so much stuff, man. And that's the easy part. Yeah, the hard part is actually trying to buy it. Well, it was trying to buy them.
But of course, like anything, it's like, the more you learn about stocks, the more you know about crypto. It's like one thing helps you with another. That's one thing I learned about investing. Like they have a lot of things are similar. So like if you understand a stock, you understand not to buy high. You understand to wait for a pullback. You understand to buy low, sell high. You understand, looking at fundamentals. Crypto's a little different because it's not the fundamentals, but it's still like the strength of a coin. You can look at the strength of a company. You can look at longevity. Mm-hmm. You can look at all of these different things. And the same rules that you apply to breaking down the stock market, you can break down crypto. You can really break down anything, whether it's real estate, same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you see real estate, if you see that, if we had a high right now in real estate, it might not be the best time to buy an investment property. MG, the mortgage guys say different, but
it's always a good time.
Yeah, it's always a good time to buy real estate. That's a fact. So, it's a lot of common sense, and it's like it's just one thing helps you with another. One door opens up another door, and that's the great part about learning, is that when you learn about one thing, you really learn about a lot of different things without even knowing it until you actually get into that, and you're like, oh. I actually, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
same principles.
It's like working out.
Yeah, same principles.
Man, y'all gave us some games just now, man. Do me a favor, man. Everybody like this, man, and share this, man. Like, my bros came and gave us some game, man. Like, definitely appreciate that.
Trappin Tuesdays, man. We couldn't play around with that, man. You got to bring out A game.
I'm just mad I don't got my red cup, man. I apologize.
Man, but listen, we're gonna give y'all a pad. Y'all on my ticket. Y'all on my coat. You hear me?
Yeah, and you trapping out of Atlanta, so you know that's home base number 2.
You know how they go, man. So definitely, man, y'all listen. We get, man. That was amazing, man. How deep y'all got into the crypto, man. That was amazing because I flirted with it for a little while. I think I got like $700, and I don't even look at it. Like y'all making me really want to like go study this crypto thing. Like I'm a information junkie, man. But I think that also can be a tool in the wealth pack. Part of the blueprint to building wealth for us is just learning these different avenues and learning these different asset vehicles that's out there. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the irrevocable trust, that's something you talk about a lot, Rashad. You talk about that in the wealth pack, the irrevocable trust. I talk about the dynasty trust pack. You know what I'm saying? We break that down. Troy was like, man, I learned something from this. We broke down the REIT that we broke down all the way in the wealth pack. We broke that thing so far down.
Hey, yo, Track, can we ask a question to the public then?
Let's ask the question. So.
Over the past 50 years, I'll pose it and let's see what they do in the chat. Over the past 50 years, what's been the number one asset in the world?
Oh,
can we do it? Let's see what the replies come in as. Because when you said it, I was like, oh.
Last years, what has been the number one asset on the market, period, yo?
I had to run it back. I said, oh, okay.
Some people saying gold.
They said people.
No, some say people. Oh my God. No.
Number one as far as what? Rate of return? Or what? Like what are we basing it on?
Rate of return.
Rate of return in the last 50 years?
Yeah.
What has given the best returns in the market?
Bitcoin.
Well, besides Bitcoin, man.
Trap, give it to him, bro.
Agriculture, man.
Agriculture?
Farmland has been the best performing asset, hands down, man.
Appreciation, supply and demand. What's the last one?
My mic messed up. I gotta get Mike to put this mic on, bro. Mike, I say that like I ain't in the trap, right?
Yeah, I can hear you now, clear.
Yeah, we got you good.
Yeah, man. So we gotta ask that, man. Like, that was the reason why we broke down. That's why I broke down agriculture in that, because it's something that we don't talk about. Timber stocks, wood, land appreciation. You know what I'm saying? Supply and demand, grow even no matter what type of cycle we in, whether it's up or down. Industrial farmland is needed. Leasing, having a lease option, having the and the one we break down in that is they leasing land out. They buy land and lease land for farmers. And I think that's something that we should have. And then with timber stocks over the last 19 years, it has actually gained 2% over inflation. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, you know, there's something, because you never hear people talk about farmland
ever,
stocks. And you know, most people feel like, well, I can't own farmland. Well, it's crazy because just the other day, I'm not even gonna lie, I was on this thing called landandfarm.com, looking at acres of land, because I was inspired by Rick Ross. The dude bought 100 acres of land for $1 million. I said, dang, I need some land. You know what I'm saying? I need some land. So definitely, and that's what I like. Again, the wealth pack, man. Us just saying, let's give the people the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Let's give them a blueprint, not just this. They need to invest in stocks. They need to trade options. Like, let's literally, and I think me and Rashad had this conversation too. I said, bro, like, no matter how much we grow our platforms, we can't forget the basics. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are people who everyday people coming, like I look at my page, so my page grows about 500 people a day. That's like what I grew on my page, 500 to 600 people a day, right? And so I always got to go back to and remember that you may have some people who've been trapping with you from the beginning, but there's also new people in. And even some of the people who've been trapping with us since the beginning, they haven't been able to just get all the knowledge, because you got to remember, Trappin Tuesdays, Market Monday, every post y'all making, every post I'm making, stuff y'all putting on YouTube, they trying to grasp this every day. You know what I'm saying? It's good that we grasping it, but even along the way, sometimes you may get like, damn, what 1 + 1 is again? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't had the moment before, like you so into like, damn, what's 2 × 2? I forgot what that is. Damn. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to go back to the basics and give people some fundamentals and also just help them understand the actual blueprint of what it takes to build wealth. Again, most of us, I can't speak for everybody else, but most of us are first generation wealth builders. Most of us will probably be the first millionaires of our family, right? And that's a huge task, right? Because now we have to be the one who go get the money and create the wealth, but we also got to be the one to teach the rest of the family how to sustain the wealth. That's why we call it the wealth plaque, the plug, the generational wealth, because we're going to be the plug, man. We're going to be the ones that's doing. So right now we doing something real special, man. Let's tell them what special we doing, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like I said, you know, it's an honor just to work with you on this. And like I said, it's not a course. It's not a you know, stock picking situation. It is a manual. It's a manual, and I forgot agriculture was even a part of it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But everything from REITs, dividends, college savings, it's pretty much like a college course on finance, personal finance, a college course on personal finance, life insurance, everything, how to set up an account, everything. It's like literally a college course. So yeah, man, you tapped in with us, and we you know, we just lended our support and lended our help. And you know, being that, you know, obviously you got a whole movement with your trappers, and you know, we love our earners. So you was like, yeah, we should do like something crazy Black Friday, 75% off for the first 200 people, 100 trappers, 100 earners, whatever, however it go, but 200. So I'm like, all right, cool, bro, whatever you want to do. So yeah, I think that's what it is, right? 200, 75% off first 200.
The trapper's gonna outdo your earners, bro.
Nah, bro. You saw what happened earlier today, man. They called one of the episode, and that was it.
Yeah,
They leaked the album.
the episode. But yeah, it's available on our website. It's on our website. It's on Trap. You want to tell them?
Yeah, so everybody who want to get it, man, we're doing 75% off for the first 200 people. Again, I know the trapper's gonna beat them to it, so I ain't even worrying about no earners tonight. It's love, but if you don't want your CEO dancing in the video, you did. So we doing 75% off on the Blue Magic, man. I gotta put it in mind. Yeah, I haven't put it up yet, but just if you want here right now, go to my DM right now and say plug, right? DM me right now on Instagram and say plug, and I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send you the link. I'm telling you, it's over 4.5 hours of straight. Like I told you, we like Mac and Brad. If you ain't never heard what Mac and Brad is, go listen to that. We going back and forth. I kind of think I beat Shotty, but I ain't gonna let. I'm gonna let y'all say that. I think I got him by a bar too. But man, we just went in, man. Definitely, is different. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I think I know the Wall Street trapping course is crazy, but I think that's some of my best work in that, because at that point I realized I was in a state of mind like, how do we change? And I know Rashad don't like using the word culture. He likes saying just us, our people, the world. And in my mind, I was just like, yo, how do I change? Like, how do we give them something that's gonna really like change the trajectory of not just one person, but the whole family? Like, how to use life insurance, how to control, how to own nothing and control everything, right? And I thought about even when Jeezy, it's crazy because when Jeezy in the thing when Jeezy said he owned half of Atlanta or whatever, and whether that's true or not, it is what it is. But most people went and looked up to see how much property he owned, and it was like, man, he only owned 2 properties. And in my mind, I was like, yo, you don't even realize that once you get to a certain level, you start putting properties in your name. You start putting them in trust. You start putting them in LLCs. So they're not in your name. So you can't control it. So nobody can't come sue you. And when I started, I was like, yo, people don't even realize like how to even build wealth, let alone how to hide wealth or protect wealth. You know what I'm saying? And I think on my journey, I've learned so much. It was like, nah, yo. And then who else better than my brothers? Because I know one, Troy is a teacher, and Rashad is the financial advisor who I throw an alley-oop up to every week when I'm on Trappin Tuesday. You know, I just know the way we vibe. So definitely, man, 75% off for the first 200 people, man. I promise you, man, this one It's that one. You know what I'm saying? So you a earner, go to their web, go to their page, it's in their link. If you a trapper, man, it's gonna be in this description, but just DM me the word plug. Y'all know I like that hand to hand. Me, that's my way. That's me being on a corner, like that's me bagging it up, giving it to you hand to hand. You know what I'm saying? Just don't give me no fake money. You feel me? With that, man, if y'all got anything else, man, y'all want to close out with, let me know.
Yeah, nah, man. Once again, appreciate you, bro, and thank you for being a part of our celebration up in Dykeman. You know, it was a very glorious day to give away 400 turkeys, $10,000 in gift cards, a flat screen TV, trip to Disneyland, an iPad, and just to, you know, vibe with the people. Shout out to everybody that came out to show you love. People came from all over the city to just, you know, just to pop up on us and show us love and talk to us. And you know, it was good. It felt good to, you know, be able to give that love back. And thank you for being a part of that, man. That was dope.
Yeah, it was beautiful, man. And even and speaking on the Jeezy thing, man, that was such a, even in that was such a teachable moment, right? Like now we get to teach them, right? Like you get to teach them, like, yo, that's a learning experience for you. Like, yo, 2 properties, that's not it, right? Now you get into that trust, man. So I want to first commend both of you, because I got to sit in through all of this, right? I was a referee in a sense. Like Tone and Polk, I got to be the referee, man, and watch y'all pour so much information. At one point, Trap, I was like, yo, Trap, bro, yo, you gotta stop. But it was incredible, man. So hopefully everybody takes advantage of this, man, because this is the one. This is the one that can change your family's trajectory forever, man. And it would be selfish of you not to want to do that. So yeah, man, the family pack, the plug to Blue Mat, the plug to generational wealth, man.
Y'all see it in the back. Y'all
yeah.
You hear me? That being said, man, we appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through the trap, helping the trap jump. You know what I'm saying? Thing jumping like Carter. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, man, I just want to tell everybody we appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all next week on Trappin Tuesday. My brothers, I will talk to y'all later. To all my trappers, salute, man. We'll be in the group tomorrow, man. 100. I love y'all, man. We out.